Well, there we go. Technology. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we would not be here without it. So we're very grateful to have it and to have you today on another DrFaye Talk show, a presentation from Brand On Demand, our television network located on Roku, Amazon, soon to be Apple, the top performing high level television platforms, as well as major social media networks. And we're so glad to be able to come here this week through this interview-a-thon that is absolutely rocking the world right now, creating such a fire, such an energy globally with these amazing voices that you have heard and will be hearing for the rest of their lives, right through the big screen as well as social media screens. I trust that you're having an amazing week and a blessed day. I want you to put your hands together because I'm about to introduce someone that I think is absolutely amazing. She is young enough to be my young sister, my baby sister. So I am just so excited about her and her energy and her loyalty to reach the world. I am just so pumped. So I want you to put your hands. Well, let me tell you a little bit about her before she comes on screen so I don't embarrass her too much. So she is Adriana Martinez. She's a CEO and speaker and a transformational coach and the driving force behind She First Entrepreneur. At just 25 years of age, she's now the first entrepreneur in her entire family, but she's a rising star in online entrepreneurship. With unwavering passion and expertise in systems and strategy, Adriana is here to champion women in entrepreneurship. Welcome to the show, Adriana. Let's give her a hand.
Hello, how are you, Dr. Faye?
I am absolutely fabulous, and so are you. It is an amazing privilege to just have you on this show today, Adriana.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
She First Entrepreneur. Let me guess, did that name birth out of your being first in your family?
It did. It was a long time coming. I had no idea what I was going to name the business. And then I was like, hang on a second.
Mm-hmm.
She first. I am the first. I am a she.
Yeah.
And I'm an entrepreneur. And it all came together. So
I absolutely love that. It's quite unique and brandable for sure. Yes, indeed. So our conversation is about how to optimize your life. And in this post-pandemic rebirth era that we're in, I think it's so important that we learn how to live life from a whole different level, just a different place, because none of us are the same people pre-pandemically. It's true, don't you think?
absolutely. 100%. I think the pandemic changed all of us in one way or another. And like you said, it's a rebirth. It's this new way of living and way of being. So many things have emerged from just that one incident, right?
Yeah, that kept going on. It was scary. It was frightful. I heard someone say that, well, we don't want to talk about it anymore. No, we need to talk about it because we're living about it. is ingrained in our culture. We is history that shifted and changed our entire globe. And in this world right now, we have more people who are more stressed and are experiencing PTSD behind the pandemic, and still feeling the loss of loss, and to learn how to optimize our lives. I think it's a grassroots teaching, a grassroots organization, grassroots coaching that needs to be out there. So I'm so thrilled to be able to spotlight you today. So, in your time here, your quarter of a century, I'm going to age you with those words. Your quarter of a century. Oh, girl. Yeah. And my dad is almost a century old. So, yeah, he is. He'll be 94 in March, right?
Oh, that's amazing.
And he gets up and walks every day, the hallways. And he said, if you don't use it, you lose it. And yeah, and his favorite line, Adriana, is, "I'm doing good like a young fella should."
Oh my God, I love him. I gotta meet him. He sounds amazing.
He is absolutely amazing. So, as you begin to walk this journey out, talk to us about. We know how you came up with the name, but how you came up with the desire, though. That's from a whole different place, deep within your soul. So, how do you know you're doing what you've been called to do?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that.
Mhm,
I so growing up, if you would have asked me when I was 7 or 10 or even like 17,
mhm.
what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would say a singer. I've always wanted to be a singer.
Oh, you're saying, okay, I'm glad you let that out.
Yes. And I am still doing that. So I have this very strong belief that we can be anything and do anything that we want.
Mhm.
It's just about, yeah, it's just a matter of making it happen. So the way that I found my passion for entrepreneurship and doing this coaching business was really so in college, I helped people find jobs, create their resumes, create their cover letters, and all of that, right? And
Mhm.
then there was another part of me that started looking into the side hustle that came about because of COVID, right? I lost my job, like
Mhm.
the means to make money. So I looked into a side hustle, which is virtual assistants. And then I did that for a little bit, but it was just a side hustle then, right? And so I combined this passion once I promoted myself from virtual assistant to online business manager about systems and strategy. And
Yeah,
that's where I really found my passion. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is a really great thing. And a lot of people don't know about it, but it's so important, so vital.
so important.
Yeah, and so I combined my passion with helping people find jobs that they are passionate about, with
Yeah.
getting it the structure right and everything, and just combine them into, hey, you can do anything. If an online business is what you want, you
Mhm.
can make that happen. Like there's a way to do that where it's successful, you're happy. It's not as stressful as it used to be, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, once you know more, you can do less.
Yeah,
Yes, it's true.
preach. That is so true.
Okay, Adriana, we're going to talk about how you optimize your life when you're busy and got all these balls in the air. But before we do that, I'm going to toss you something right now. Sing us a song.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know
And we are live. Welcome to the show.
I don't even know if my mic is that I don't even have a song in mind. I have no idea.
Okay.
Any ideas?
All right. Well, I'm going to give you time to think about that.
Okay.
A song, even if it's just one line, you're going to toss it out there because we want to hear you. There's nothing more fabulous than a singing coach, a dancing coach.
And you feel like a singer to me as well. Are you?
I can background way in the back. And, I'm a worshiper. I love meditation. I love praise. And so God loves it. and the world might reject it, but that's okay.
Okay.
and I'm okay with that because I'm in my space right here in front of this camera. So when people are busy, like myself, you know a little bit about what my life may look like behind this camera and in front of this camera. What kind of things would you suggest for busy entrepreneurs, women? Think about busy moms, busy CEOs, just like yourself,
Mhm.
and people who have all these things that have to be done. And in the middle of all the things that are on your list, life happens. And then you got more stuff on your list. So talk to us.
Yeah, it can be very frustrating. And I want to just acknowledge everybody who is experiencing that. It's a universal thing, right? We all experience the life getting thrown at us and that struggle. Um, but you're pushing through, and that is something that I think is absolutely empowering.
Yeah.
And I want to say a lot of the times we work to live or we live to work, and either one of those, it's just you're working so much where life becomes a side thing, right? Like work is the main event and
Hmm.
then everything else is just in addition to, which
Yeah.
I don't believe it should be like that. I think we're here to live life. God brought us here to live this life that He
Amen.
world for us, right? So I think that it's really important to find a balance between work, life, and just personal growth as well. Like we're all learning, we're all growing. And
Yeah.
a way to do that, I think, is time management. And that's such a generic thing, I know.
Yeah. When you said that, I went, oh, okay, okay. She's going to talk about time management.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, it's a struggle. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I struggle with it too. It's not something that I've mastered. I think, again, it's personal growth. Like we're all still learning. And when I say time management, I want you to, because it's particular to who you are, right? What do you want to spend your time doing? What do you want to spend your time on? Like, what is that thing that lights you up? And that's where I always come from. I'm like, what sets your soul on fire? And do that thing. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah.
I like that. What sets your soul on fire, then
Mm,
do that thing.
yeah.
It's good when you have clarity about that because we've all been through, shifting niches and target markets and that whole thing. But at the end of the day, whatever it took to get there doesn't matter. The fact is that you got there. And
Yeah.
now you know the thing that you were born to do. Because I truly believe, Adriana, until we know who we be, we cannot do the thing with the being, and we will not have the things that we've been called to have. So
Mm,
there's a order in the universe. Be who you are, do the thing that that being is supposed to do, and then you have all the things that you're supposed to have, and then life becomes, the burden becomes easy, the yoke becomes easy, and the burden becomes light when things are in that order. Out of order is live, living to work and work to living, as you described so beautifully. So how do we help people to move from uh, that place of being culturalized, yes, I make up words, culturalized to believe that you're just supposed to get up, go to work, live for everybody else, do for everybody else, and not put yourself first?
I think that comes from a place of acceptance and willingness to understand that, I just spent 20 years in this job and
Yeah.
I don't even like it.
Mm.
And being able to grieve the part of you that didn't realize that before,
Oh,
I think it's a huge transformation, right? It's not just overnight. You're like, all right, I'm good with that. I spent 20 years in a job. I don't even, yeah, I'll do something else. It's
sure.
not that easy.
Yeah.
It's understanding, it's acknowledging, it's accepting and grieving. And I think it's important that you find that, though, like you were beautifully saying, it's about finding who you are and arriving there, right? And doing that thing that lights you up.
Hmm.
And it is possible. That's why I'm like, I just It's so important. But what I would say is when people are like, well, but how do I do that? It's kind of like, and I say these two words and I know it stresses people out, systems and structure. But they're my favorite thing. And what I mean by that is having a system where you're like, okay, it could be a routine, it could be a habit, like just something that you have in place where you're like, this is one change I'm going to make
Mhm.
to lead me to that better version of myself. And
Yeah,
just take those little baby steps, right? Move that needle, as our mentor says, and
yeah.
make it happen.
Hmm. Make it happen by one step at a time. Because when I walk into a room, regardless, I could walk in like I went into my kitchen last night. Okay, and I had been doing some work in the kitchen, and it was a mess. It was honestly a mess. I didn't want to deal with it, but I thought, okay, before I leave out of this kitchen, let me do one thing.
Mm,
Just do this one thing. And what happened is once I did the one thing, the next thing came, and then the next thing came. And I did not leave until it was completely done. I didn't care what time it was. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about, hey, I'm in a flow here. So the one thing matters, right?
yeah,
There's a scripture that says, "This one thing I do." If we do the one thing, the rest of the things just fall in line. It's like the domino, right? You just push one, the rest of them fall.
yeah,
Yeah. And I think that's really important, Adriana, for people to realize that. So those of you who are feeling overwhelmed right now, and maybe you're feeling like you just got too much traffic in your head. It's like an 8-lane highway there. And you just can't stop the noise in your head. And here we are talking about optimizing your life, and you're just trying to find your light in the midst of all the drama that's going on right here. Just sit down for a moment and follow these instructions that Adriana is going to lay out for us in a couple of bullets, just to tell you what you can do to begin the process of organizing your life. She talked about, Adriana, you talked about something that was so powerful, acknowledging that those 20 years or 30 years or whatever it may be for you, understanding, accepting, and grieving, which I had never heard that before. You are such an old soul in a
mhm,
25-year-old body. But to be able to bring that to light, that there's a grief process because you're feeling like you wasted time or wasted years, and to allow yourself to go through those emotions. So if you're feeling that and you felt that when Adriana said it, go ahead and feel it. Go ahead and acknowledge it and know that it's okay to feel that way. And then now what? Take the next steps. Adriana, get us out of this traffic.
mm. Yeah, it's once you've had that moment to sit with it and accept it and grieve it, it's time to change it, right?
Mm,
So what I like to do, it's just a little bit crazy, but grab a pen, grab a paper, or
I like crazy. Go.
grab your iPad, grab a little thing in your hand, whatever, and just brain dump. Like, do not hold back. If you think, oh, I need to get toilet paper, write it down. Whatever comes to your mind, just write down all of the tasks that you want to do, all the things that are on your plate right now, just brain dump them. And then once you've brain dumped them, and it could be like, I've had a paper where I did that and it was just like scribbles all over the place. It just decorated the whole page. And then you go back and you're like, okay, this family, this house, like family is like family time or however you want to categorize it, right? That's the next step is categorizing it in a way that you understand. For
Right.
me, I'm like, okay, this is home stuff, this is family stuff, this is work stuff, this is whatever else, right? And making sure that you have distinct little piles for everything that you're doing. And then prioritize. Go through those categories and say, toilet paper, we have 4 rolls left. It's fine. We can wait on that. And then just move on to something else that's at the very top of it
Mhm.
and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Prioritize what is most important at the moment.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because you don't have to think about what's most important in life.
Beautiful point. That is so true. Like, we'll get there. Just right now. What is the thing?
Yeah, yeah. Just put away that dish, you know, or do whatever, or make that, or if you're writing a book, just sit in front of your computer and write one line.
Yeah.
I promise you, the one thing makes a difference and everything else will begin to flow. As entrepreneurs, Adriana, we meet a lot of people as transformational coaches who are going through this struggle with social media and with all of the things that are happening in life and easily becoming distracted.
Mm.
Because the moment it's interesting, the moment you make a decision to get something done, a gazillion things. I mean, not one, a gazillion. It's like you made a decision to fast and everybody invites you to dinner. It's a gazillion things will come to attempt to sway you away from that.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking a key component is to make it a priority to you
Yeah.
and value you so much and love you so much that the only way that you can help others and serve others is to put yourself first.
Mm.
So getting that thing done, Adriana, and I'm sure you found out, you know this because you speak with such wisdom and such grace. I'm so glad you're here. I really am so glad you're here. That when we put ourselves in a position to focus in on ourselves, we are strengthened, we are empowered, we can do more by doing less
Mhm.
of the things that we thought were so important and prioritizing key things in the moment is the only thing you need to do right now.
Yes.
Right now.
That's beautifully said, Dr. Faye. And I want to add, as entrepreneurs, and specifically the clients that I work with, they're first in their families, right? They're the first one to really take that step into entrepreneurship. It can get lonely and it can get very overwhelming very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's something to be said about carrying that, right? And being able to have somebody, and like you were saying, it's easy to get distracted, it's easy to get burnt out.
Yeah.
And what I would recommend is having realistic goals. Again, realistic being the key term, because we do want to make that goal for 50 years from now, 30 years from now, however many years from now.
Mm-hmm.
It's one step at a time, like we've been talking about. So setting a realistic goal for even just the next week, whatever is gonna, that little step, don't overwhelm yourself. Maybe it's even just tomorrow, right? Whatever that is. And then having, looking for and finding a supportive community that will
Mm-hmm.
empower you to keep going and uplifting you, right? And you had said something earlier. Oh, I can't remember, but it was, oh no, it slipped my mind. Oh, that's okay. It'll come back.
It definitely will. In a world full of distractions and burnouts, and with so many people looking for success, I mean, if there is a drive that we have universally as humans, universally, regardless of our culture, our beliefs, regardless of where we come from, we all have that desire to succeed in life. And in order to do that, whatever success looks like for you, it looks different for me because it does depend on what your mission is in life, what you know you've been called to do. Back to your initial statement, what is your passion? What is your fire? What is the thing that you would do all day long? Like I do, I can interview people all day long. It doesn't bother me. I'm excited to do it. What is that thing that you can do and you refuse, absolutely refuse to allow anything to pull you away from it? And whatever that is, then you start taking those steps toward that thing. So if we bring it down into those microcosmic steps of,
Mm.
first of all, you got to get up.
Mm.
That's really important. If you can get up, then get up.
Mhm.
I told you about my 94-year-old dad. He's almost 94 in a few months, and he gets up every day and he walks the hall. And his favorite phrase is, "I'm doing good like a young fella should," as he walks that hallway. And it says, if you don't move it, you lose it. Use it, you lose it. And so you got to get up and you got to begin to put these pieces into place. There's no magic that's going to happen, folks. It's not going to drop out of the sky and all of a sudden your life will be better. And I know you've been praying, you've been seeking, you've been searching, but yet you're still not there yet. I was like that. Adriana's been through things that you say, well, she's just 25, but she's an old 25. She's been through things, a mature 25. She's been through things and she brings a story, because in your story is your glory. If you don't get up and start doing something for yourself, your dreams are just a wish.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, darling.
Yes, it came to me. It was about how just taking that one small step, right? And
Yeah.
when you do that,
Mhm.
do it imperfectly. It does not have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it.
Just do it.
And that was the thing that got me, because I hadn't realized that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And it wasn't the worst. Like, it wasn't awful and I threw it away in the trash. It was just the next step, right? And then that next step after that is going to be even better and even better as you keep going and going. And I would say for entrepreneurs, a lot of the time we're like, I'm just trying to get my business up and running.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll touch on that in a little bit. So,
well, you may have to touch on it at another time. Did you realize we were spending our time? And so I want to know, what do you have coming up where people can actually get in touch with you or attend an event if you're having it, and let them know what you're doing on social media? Go ahead.
oh, thank you, DrFaye. Yeah. So actually this kind of rolls into it, but I had a free gift for all of you viewers and watchers, and it is the 7 essential systems that every online business needs. And I've created this 7-system framework to help female entrepreneurs who are the first in their family to do it, and they're like, I don't know what's happening, I don't know what to do next. So I created a checklist that goes through all the systems that you need, and it explains what they are. It explains some potential tools that you can look up. And the way to access that is on my website, shefirentrepreneur.com/EBS. And so once you access that, then you'll have all the goodness on what I use to really make sure that the system that I'm using or the tool that I'm using is going to fit my business. And you can ask yourself those questions and get through that. And once you sign up for that, you're going to be entered into my email list. So I'll be able to let you know on future events. I just had one this past Tuesday. And I can send you the replay for that if you want it.
That is absolutely amazing. Very well done, Adriana. Very well done. So, guys, listen, I just so appreciate you, Adriana, for being here and sharing your expertise with us and your wisdom. It has truly been a blessing and an honor having you right here on the DrFaye Talk show. And it's all about spotlighting talents and gifts just as you are. Thank you, Precious, for being here. And I look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon. Well, there you are, folks. Another dynamic talk with Adriana Martinez, a transformational coach, the CEO of her own business, a coaching practice, and the first entrepreneur in her family. I celebrate her. And it is awesome to be first because you're a trailblazer. She's a trailblazer. And right here on the DrFaye Talk show, we spotlight trailblazers, women entrepreneurs, professionals, coaches, and consultants who are truly trailblazers and are making a difference in this world and a mark that can never be erased. I want to invite you to join me on my invitations page, events.drfaye.com. events.drfaye.com, where you will discover my events. And I invite you to join me if you're watching this prior to November 11th, 2023. I'm hosting an event at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's high visibility impact for women professionals and leaders just like you. So go ahead to events.drfaye.com, and remember, as always, the calling is a gift, but the choice is yours. See you soon. Bye-bye now. Have you been feeling lately like your dreams are dead? That your vision will never come into fruition? Listen, I know how that can feel, but you don't have to stay there. If you're feeling like you're ready to build your confidence and embrace your message and move into your creative brilliance and create a lasting impact in your business and in your life, if you could answer, yes, that's me, to at least one of those, then I want to welcome you to the journey of transformation and empowerment. You're going to learn how you too can take the stage with confidence, with focus, with power, and empowerment. As a woman professional and leader, you can take your place in the world right now. You're in the right place at the right time. I'm DrFaye, and my grandmother was a midwife. And one of the things she practiced was to stop the pain. And I stand on her shoulders today to help as many women as I possibly can to stop the pain. So I want to invite you to a journey of transformation and empowerment, where there are hundreds, if not thousands of women already who are embracing transformation through their stories, through their testimonials. You can achieve wealth mastery and close the wealth gap and close every gap between the vision and your reality. Breathe life into your dreams again. Breathe life into your vision again. That is not about anything but your decision to click on the link. Go to events.drfaye.com. Make that decision now to join us, and together we will create a world where women professionals and leaders shine brighter than ever before and make a mark upon this world that can never be erased. So don't miss your opportunity. Don't be a spectator in the parade. Build your own float, girl. Come on. Go to the link now, events.drfaye.com, and I will love seeing you there. See you soon. Bye-bye now.